This is Jay.
And Jack.
Here to talk about Jay and Jack Plus, our new podcasting venture where we do podcasts about Fringe,
Games of Thrones,
Firefly,
The Married Man Show,
Jay and Jack TV,
and more.
and it's only for 1 penny for the first month, and that is awesome. So you can check that out at jayandjacktv.com. Click on the Plus feed, become a member for only 1 penny.
You can try it for a penny, 1 month for a penny.
So check it out. Hasta luego, and goodbye.
Bye.
It's 5 years later with Jay and Jack. My name is Jay, and
Jack.
that's it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Just Jack.
That's all I got.
We are here a year after the finale of Lost to talk about, now that we had some time to let it simmer, maybe watch it a few more times. We're doing a rewatch right now. How many people are actually listening to the rewatch? Or how many people at least have rewatched it, period? I mean, anybody? Okay, there we go. There we go.
Rewatch is over.
Rewatch is over? We're done. We are done. So with me today we have a couple well-known podcasters. They're going to join this discussion. First up, you might know him as the Macadamia Nut Hander-Outer King. Mr. Ryan Ozawa from The Transmission. Woo! And you might know him as my arch nemesis from that other Lost podcast, Chris White from the official Lost podcast. Woo!
I'm here to make you look good.
All right, so as some of you may know, we got some buttons that we handed out. We also got some postcards, and actually, when everyone leaves, you will get a Lost Final Season Jay and Jack poster as well. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Take as many as you want.
Take as many, no. So there should be enough for everybody in here. And actually, Scott from Island of Los Amigos has some prizes that we're going to give away as well. So I'm not going to quite announce them just yet. That's going to be pretty cool. All right, I'm going to take a seat now because it's really hot up here. And let's get this going. How's it going, everybody?
Thank you, Jay.
So, let's see. Who anybody here actually go to the Lost panel yesterday, the EW Lost panel?
Oh, not
nice.
as many as I would like. It was actually I was surprised. I mean, I have to admit I sold us all short. I was like, oh, it should be okay, just show up kind of late, and I barely squeaked in. And then there were a lot of people outside tweeting like, can we come in? What's going on? So I was happy to see that level of interest for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely a surprise that actually happened. Damon and Carlton showed up. Yeah. Which was pretty awesome. Anything you want to say about that, or what they talked about, or anything to add to the?
Well, they didn't answer anything.
Yeah. They were very elegant in not answering things. I really like their justification for doing so, though. I mean, they don't want to get stuck like J.K. Rowling and answering questions for the rest of her life. That what you saw on screen is what you got, and whether it's the people in the canoe or whatever, you're just going to have to let it go.
But at the same time, Damon did say that he pretty much admits that on his gravestone it's going to say, Damon Lindelof, I did Lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Jack, what did you take from it?
There's a very cool video. I don't know if you guys have gone and seen it. It's the what was it called? Deleted scenes they never showed.
Deleted scene from Exodus.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and watch it. I won't spoil you, but it's hilarious.
It's on ABC.com, I think.
Yeah,
actually.
ABC.com.
Okay, yeah. Go and it's fantastic.
It's also on EW.com as well.
That's
Nice.
right. That's right. They embedded it. It was easier to find there than it was on on the ABC site.
Why you gotta look at me when you say that? Like it's my fault.
That will get you all the answers you need for Lost.
Absolutely.
But I understand that someone was sitting behind a certain stormtrooper during the panel.
Yes, we were told, Colleen and I, Jay's wife, were told to save these two seats in front of us, and this big stormtrooper guy sat in front of us, and Colleen starts poking him on the side, saying, hey, we're supposed to save this seat, and I'm going, hey, Mr. Stormtrooper, I'm hitting him on the shoulder, I go, hey, well, we're supposed to save this seat too, and he wouldn't turn around, so then we started figuring out it had to be an actor. So we're trying to figure out who it was. I said Josh Holloway because he's tall, and I said, well, I know Lindelof is here, maybe it's him. I go, no, he's too short. short for to be too tall to be Lindelof. So I go. I think we both said it's Carlton, and we kept it's Carlton. We kept saying it loud enough for him to hear. We were trying to look underneath his helmet to see what kind of hair he had, and it was Carlton.
Well, my favorite thing is, I guess you were saying, "Hey, Mr. Stormtrooper."
Yeah, I was hitting him on
These
the
seats are
shoulder.
saved.
Well, he was blocking my view.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a stormtrooper blocking your view, in my opinion. So let's actually start opening us up for some discussion. I think all of us here have a good angle on Lost, and even an insider angle on Lost, since Chris actually wrote and created the show. They just didn't give him credit for it.
Ghostwriter.
You still get that check every month?
Yes, it's $0.00.
With interest?
Very interesting.
All right, so if you just want to go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll talk some Lost. Anybody? Right here.
Obviously, they said they're not going to answer any more questions. Which is one thing that you wish they would answer that they haven't yet?
Wow, that's a good question. Chris, what do you think about that one?
Off the top of my head, I don't really know, but the thing that I do remember is when I talked to Carlton about Lost, the thing that he thought was most interesting was he said the show is like a giant iceberg. Like the portion that we see on TV is the top 5 to 10% of that story. But the whole mythology, the backstories, the character histories, everything else fills out the bottom of that iceberg underwater that we don't see. But the great thing about the internet and transmedia is that it allows us to start telling more of those stories in different ways. So like the Lost shorts that you would see on the internet, or the webisodes, or the special on the DVD for the final season. The coda that they put on there.
Or the ARGs, the games.
Exactly, the ARGs, even though some of them quote aren't canon, but it allows them to really kind of expand that world. And for me, the thing that I love the most about it is that it is a complete world, and I can't say for certain because I have no insider knowledge on this, but I would love to see them revisit that world in some capacity moving forward. Because, like you guys said, there is a lot of unanswered questions. But who were those people that the Man in Black and Jacob were living with? What was their story? Who were the people that shot at them in the boat? And there's lots of untold stories in that world that I think could be explored.
And I think they could do it in a graphic novel. And I think they could find somebody maybe that has the ability to help them tell that story for sure.
I'd love to see it in a graphic novel. Yeah.
Well, I know I've said before, I said it last year, I'd like to see a backstory of Jacob and Man in Black's mom. How did she come to the island?
She started in West Wing.
Is that what it is?
And it fell in a time of it.
There was a TARDIS in the White House.
But I'd like to see that. I said last year, why don't you have like a movie of the week or something like that, 2-hour movie showing the back.
Movie of the week, like cyberbullying?
Yeah.
On ABC Family.
There you go. Yeah, that would work.
Good old
But
cyberbullying.
but just something like that. I'd like to see it.
Really? You'd like to see that?
I would like to see it.
I kind of agree with the ability to go into an expanded universe and start to cover just more of the background mythology of the island, because the show itself and the story that I think Darlton wanted to get across was the story of the actual survivors of 815 and the characters and some other ones like Benjamin Linus and stuff like that. It was really about these characters' journeys while having this ongoing mystery of the island as the backdrop for these stories. And there was points where it was more mystery or science fiction-y, and there was points where it was more character-centric. So that's where I think things like graphic novels, or maybe eventually a revisiting in some type of video media form, could really help expand that universe. I mean, because it's a year later and this room is still packed with Lost fans. So I think there's definitely still interest in the Lost mythos.
Maybe it's just me, but I'd love to see more of the tales of when Hurley's in charge of the island.
Yes. Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
And also, can you imagine like visiting Aaron 15 years later, like how messed up his life is? I think that those characters and Walt, for example, who we only got to see a little bit peripherally of.
Walt!
As the one cries out. Those would be interesting stories.
Well, I
and
did
those
like-
are characters we know.
Yeah.
I love that during the panel that they said that there was nothing that they snuck in the show that nobody caught.
Right.
You know, in fact, that the viewers of the show found more in the show than they put into it, and I think that's really telling. And I think whether it's officially through them, I think they've got better things to do. Maybe they're going to have Lost on their tombstone, and maybe they want to do these other projects. But I do think that the fan community has definitely shown, you know, the creativity it needs to kind of do that sort of thing. You see some really fantastic stuff for Star Wars. You know that they make motion picture quality fan films, and I think that that's within our realm of possibility as well.
So who would you play in the fan film?
Who would I play in the I have no idea. I'm good at being a dead body. I think I could lie in a pile and have flies on me, and I think I could pull that off.
That'd be pretty cool.
I wouldn't want flies on me. That's no thanks.
What about like audio animatronic flies?
Well, you know, actually, with the
That's okay.
No, the funny thing is, when you said that, I thought, you know, podcasting and the old-timey radio stories that people would just sort of listen to.
Oh, yeah,
radio
yeah.
shows, and you know, you just need some cornflakes to make snow, and you know, you don't need sets to do an audio show. So maybe that's a project that we can look at.
I like that.
Frosted cornflakes or
Well, they have to be if it's snow.
Where would you need the snow for Lost, though?
Well, you had polar bears.
the station? Or what about the station? The one that.
Oh, yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
See? Quit doubting so much.
My bad.
Well, but don't you? So there's obviously still a hunger for Lost. Obviously, I mean, as fans, we all like, gosh, why did it have to go? But don't you think? Do you see a way Damon and Carlton could be involved in anything anytime soon, where they wouldn't face enormous scrutiny, negativity from people going, you just finished it, now they're basically saying, oh, we screwed it. I guess, do they say, oh, we screwed it up to some people by leaping back in and doing anything again?
Well, I mean, for me, I just look at, and I think it maybe needs more time, but, you know, Star Trek, and it's Star Trek The Next Generation, and granted that was a good decade or even more after the fact. So I just, maybe enough time can pass to where you could revisit the world of Lost, but I think it's definitely doable, and I think, you know, Lost fans definitely have the same amount of passion as a Star Trek fan.
But I think
or Star Wars.
What you're saying is that if they started to do more stuff,
like now,
they'd be like,
right now.
This is just a cash grab. This is Hangover 2. There's
Yeah.
no point to this other than to make more money.
I thought Hangover 2 was funny.
Sorry.
He's an easy laugh.
But that's me. But maybe, like, you're right. Maybe it's, well, you know, look at all the people here in the EW panel. Maybe it's better there's, like, they left it the way it is, and we still have questions. You know, we still have questions we want to answer to, and we just debate about it and argue and fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not right away. It can't happen tomorrow. I mean, you need at least 5 years, I think, at least, before you could revisit it and have it be genuine. I think get someone or a new showrunner that genuinely cares about the mythology. That's what you need.
Well, I think Damon said the same thing in an interview, if I remember correctly. He said that he would love to see Lost get rebooted or retreated by someone in the future, you know, who brings their own creative ideas and their own story to the world.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, you're a new media superstar. I can help you with locations in Hawaii. You've got a cameraman. You've got writers.
I think you have plenty of toys you could use as stand-ins.
Stay Puft Marshmallow
No,
Man.
he won't. But he won't take them out of the box.
They'll just be in the box. Like.
I think it loses some of the effectiveness.
Well, that was a great question. So you will win a Miles Strong Lost action figure. Come on down.
I want to see that in your office. Hanging in your office.
Don't ask him a wrong question.
There you go. There you go. Who's that one?
That's Matthew Fox.
Jack.
Jack Shepard. Nice.
Wow.
All right. So
Is
Now we'll
he
get
is he crying?
if you squeeze him, tears come out of his face.
comes
That's
with
his. That's his action figure. Don't talk about the hands anymore. Poor Matthew Fox. Let's see. What's the
wonder
next
he
question we
won't
want to talk about? Gina, way down there.
So how has Lost impacted each of your individual lives? Just each one of you, maybe really briefly.
I'm here.
Jay and Jack threw a T-shirt at me. Really hard.
Well, it wasn't Jay.
Oh.
I was there, but
Jay would
Jack
have
did.
Jay would have messed.
And the story we're referencing, for those of you that don't know, like I was running around with the camera crew. This was like second or third season of Lost outside of Hall H, and you know how long those lines are, you know, stretching all the way back. So we're running around with the camera crew shooting people, and these guys come up to me, they're like, "Hey, you! Hey, we're the Jay and Jack podcast, and we're better than you!" And then,